What is an adventure? What does it even mean? We use the term to say so many different things. Adventure is an arduous task with unknown outcome and a chance for accomplishment. It's a transformative and meaningful experience leading to personal growth. It's a series of events weaving into the greater narrative of who we are. Every second you're alive, you are experiencing. The thoughts in your head, your mood, the sound of my voice. All sensations right now in this moment. But an experience is more than that. It's all that perception wound up in a chunk of time dominated by a single factor. A challenge, a location, a desire. Anything, really. Most of our experiences are forgettable, mindless tasks, so there has to be a caveat. They must impact us emotionally. They must mean something. Proust said that the point of any story is to discover who the characters are, or may become, by challenging their abilities, their values, their understanding of the world. In fact, this is the only way you can know what any of these things are. Who we are. Going into the unknown is just as much about seeing what's out there as it is seeing what's within, and what really matters. You find just how far your attributes will take you. You discover your strengths and weaknesses, and learn a bit about who you are now. Through it all, you see who you may become, and where you might get if you were just a little better. And from that, you have the chance to deepen your character. Adventure demands just one thing, the only thing we truly have, our time. Each of us has so many days and so many hours in our lifetime. With everything you do, there is a definite cost in time. You trade time for ability during practice. You spend time with your family in exchange for the connection. Exercising is investing time now so you can have more time later. At work, you don't make money. You just sell time. Just because you've got time to live doesn't mean you're actually living. To be alive, you have to apply yourself in the present, acknowledging the world around you and deciding what the heck to do with it. To spend your time living, you do so on those things you care about beyond the needs of survival, whatever you feel passionate about. The best scientists and the best artists don't work for the rewards of making some discovery or becoming famous and recognized. The work itself drives them. Radio was discovered by a man who thought it was useless, but fascinating. Modern rockets by men who didn't contemplate their use as weapons. Impressionism by artists who just wanted a new way of seeing the world. It's never about finding the end of the road, but only where the road leads. It is part of human nature to wish to explore, to engage with our environment, and to seek out new things so we might understand them. For an adventurer, the world is a playground, a place to learn about what it means to be alive. You can have adventure doing just about anything, reading textbooks, learning how to paint, building a house. Each of these can be a series of challenging and meaningful experiences, ultimately leading to personal growth. But adventure is universally associated with one particular activity: travel. This makes sense, since travel is, well, quite challenging, and typically a passionate experience. But why travel? Well, science would place it as something between a better life, better remembered, and an ignition for the creative mind with exposure to so many things apart from what you're accustomed. Sadly, these sentiments fall short in expressing the feeling behind such an experience, to which I can only describe as wonder refined. Perhaps I should be a bit more frank. We all know the saying that money can't buy happiness. Well, it's sort of true. Fact is, money buys you things, but things can only ever make you content. They serve a purpose, they remove discomfort, they make life easier, but they can't give you meaning. They can't give you a reason to live. Think of the things that matter most to you. Your first car, souvenirs and trinkets you keep through life. All of these aren't really valued for some problem they solved, but for the experiences you had with them. Ultimately, what defines our lives is our experiences. This is why we adventure. Experiencing is going out and doing something yourself. My father used to tell me that you can read about it, you can see someone else do it, but you'll never really understand what it's like until you actually piss on an electric fence. Adventuring makes us better people, as we come to know and understand our fellow man, as we find beauty in places we can never imagine, in leaving the world we know, to discover one we don't. Adventure has been part of motorcycling since their inception, with the motorcycle proving as the perfect vehicle for those who wish to maximize their engagement with their surroundings. In comparison to other modes of travel, there is no equal in terms of how well it forces you into the moment. Motorcyclists are immersed in the environment, free from distraction as the riding demands they pay attention. From the wind at their knees to the sun on their back, they are bathed in sensation of wherever they are, entirely liberated from a world behind them, and riding into possibility. In the most common usage, adventure riding refers to a type of motorcycle touring along scenic back roads, focusing primarily on unpaved routes. Such riding has a number of advantages over traditional touring, as many of the world's more scenic places are only accessible from dirt roads. Naturally, this attracts riders who enjoy getting away from the world, and seeing places few others have. Adventure riding offers something magical, experiences that are entirely your own. It's a far different feeling standing in a crowd to see something millions of others already have, from the feeling you get standing all alone, taking in a view that's entirely yours. While others might climb a mountain just to say that they have, adventurers climb for the few moments spent at its peak. To them, the world isn't a place to be conquered, it's a place to be explored. This is the heart of adventure motorcycling. Its singular goal is discovery. You don't have to go on long trips for it to be adventure riding. A day or an afternoon works fine, so long as it is exploration by motorcycle. You don't even have to be out in the country or ride in the dirt. There's plenty of amazing things to discover in a city. No single aspect of adventure riding is particularly demanding, but as a whole it is very complex and challenging. Numerous skills and subjects play a role in adventure riding, far more than anything else you're likely to get into. Becoming an adventurer is quite an ordeal. You need to learn a lot, practice regularly, train and experiment with everything. You need to learn to adapt, and to assess things you've never seen, in order to find solutions you've never heard. Adventuring is problem solving. The more you know, and the more skills you have, the more options you've got. I can tell you right now that you're going to spend a lot of time frustrated. Though this isn't really a bad thing. Frustration is the mother of creativity and growth. When things are just challenging enough that you feel frustrated, but not so much that you just want to give up, is where you have the opportunity to grow. Adventure is a test of self, your abilities, your character. Through this, you will not only learn and develop these things, but you get to put whatever you learn into practice. You see their value in overcoming the challenges and frustration. You don't learn things or build skills because someone somewhere told you you might need them someday. You are the one who drives this. You get to figure out what you need to know, and what you must do to make yourself good enough to become an adventurer.